Right now, we follow the fallout from the shooting at President Trump's rally in Pennsylvania, an assassination attempt on Trump that leaves one audience member dead. And how the RNC starting tomorrow is affected by the shooting at Trump's rally. Plus, the attempt on Trump's life Saturday is etched in time, what one historian wants you to remember about political violence throughout America's lifetime. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. President Biden made a rare Oval Office address tonight after speaking about national unity earlier today. CBS's Nancy Cordes reports from the White House.
Investigators will have every resource they need to get this done.
The president was briefed in the Situation Room by his national security team this afternoon. He said he has instructed the FBI to be thorough and swift as it investigates the shooter.
I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job.
With the Republican National Convention set to start tomorrow, President Biden said he has directed the head of the Secret Service to review all security plans for the four-day event. And as questions swirl about how the shooter was able to get so close to a presidential candidate, Biden said he had ordered an independent review of rally security to assess what went wrong.
And we'll share the results of that independent review with the American people as well.
Security around the White House is still elevated, with pedestrians blocked from Pennsylvania Avenue and Lafayette Park across the street. President Biden has postponed a planned trip to Austin, Texas tomorrow, and the Biden campaign has hit pause on TV advertising as the president looks to strike a unifying tone.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter.
That investigation is already underway. Federal agents were spotted in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, where the gunman Thomas Crooks lived. Sources say the firearm the 20-year-old used in the assassination attempt was legally purchased and registered by the shooter's father. Law enforcement sources tell CBS News bystanders spotted Crooks shortly before the shooting and reported his presence to law enforcement officials. And momentarily, they had lost track of the gunman minutes before he opened fire at the Trump rally, firing 6 to 8 rounds from an AR-style weapon, approximately 400 feet from the podium.
This is not some game. This is not politics. A real human being lost their life.
Crooks' political leanings are unclear, but records show he was registered as a Republican and a voter in Pennsylvania. We'll have more on the shooting fallout in just a bit, but right now let's get a look at your first one forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington.
Jalen, we said a busy evening would be in store for southern Wisconsin. It most certainly panned out. Last of the showers and thunderstorms are moving out of the viewing area, but we still have the remnants of those showers and thunderstorms producing copious amounts of rainfall, 2, 3, perhaps even some 4-inch amounts over the eastern portion of Madison, where we still have a flash flood warning. This would be Anderson Street, Commercial Avenue, right along 51 and 151 intersection, where this immense amount of rainfall fell over just a brief period of time. All of southern Wisconsin, at least south of the Dells, near the Richland Center area, Lodi, and areas to the south, saw these severe thunderstorms pop up over southwestern Wisconsin earlier in the day. They've since moved out of the area. Future Track is showing a quiet night, maybe a pop-up shower storm yet this evening, but the line of storms has since passed the area, at least the widespread thunderstorms for tonight, I should emphasize. The rest of the night here in Madison, temperatures falling down here through the 70s, so another muggy evening across southern Wisconsin, but alert day conditions continue through Monday for heat and more rounds of severe storms in Maine weather. We're going to track where those rounds of storms may line up.
All right, Alex, thank you. U.S. presidents have been no strangers to political violence. In all of history, 4 U.S. presidents have been assassinated, and more have experienced attempts on their lives. Our Braden Ross sat down with one historian today to talk about the historical context we need to understand this event and just how historic this moment is. Braden?
There is absolutely no doubt about it. This photo will go down in history.
We haven't seen political assassination attempts or assassinations in the 21st century. This is our first.
It's a first we hoped to never see again. Since the founding of our nation, 4 presidents and 1 presidential candidate have been killed. Others have survived attempts on their lives, but we haven't seen a call this close in decades. As far as what's triggered those assassination attempts in the past,
It does seem like every president is under extreme threat of being assassinated. And again, there doesn't have to be a particular political reason, like the Hinckley attempt on Reagan. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason to it, or he's trying to oppress an actress.
And it's not just presidents and candidates that have faced political violence.
Martin Luther King Jr., the assassination of Medgar Evers. So the assassination of these, even though they weren't running for president and couldn't have been running for president at that time, were still political figures that we shouldn't forget as part of this conversation.
As far as how the American public responds to historic events like this, it can go either way. But one thing we know for sure, history has its eyes on former President Trump this week.
Braden, thank you. In local reaction to the incident at Trump's campaign rally, Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett saying in a statement Saturday that there is no place for violence against elected officials or their families. He went on to say that the Dane County Sheriff's Office is committed to public safety for all members of our community and have dedicated available staff and resources to Milwaukee for the RNC later this week. Officials say they're trying to balance protesters' rights to express their views while securing the environment for attendees and the public. Political reporter Will Keneally is in Milwaukee and has more.
Now, the shooting Saturday night of former President Donald Trump has raised new questions about how the Secret Service plans to keep the RNC safe here in Milwaukee. But they tell us that they've been planning for this for a long time.
This is a national special security event. That designation is the highest level of security designation that the federal government can determine.
Security inside the RNC perimeter was already high, even before the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. In the aftermath, the U.S. Secret Service said, though, they are not worried.
We are confident in the security plans that are in place for this event, and we're ready to go. It's been an 18-month process.
That included some additional money to the city. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says he asked for an extra $25 million to help the city's security efforts.
We take this matter very, very seriously. We take public safety very, very seriously.
There have also been renewed discussions about whether guns should be banned from the soft perimeter surrounding the Fiserv Forum.
In terms of banning weapons in the outer perimeter, that is not within our purview because of state law.
We're here inside these barricades in what's called the hard perimeter. Now, any efforts to ban guns outside these barricades in what's called the soft perimeter, that may not go anywhere. That's because the city of Milwaukee cannot have stricter gun bans under state law than we do have at the state level. Reporting from Milwaukee, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Well, thank you. We'll have more from Will in just a bit. Governor Tony Evers among those calling for restrictions on guns within the soft perimeter, though it is still likely to be an unsuccessful movement. The lack of broader firearm restrictions at the event is an issue for gun safety advocates like the Wisconsin anti-violence effort. The city has banned dozens of objects from the outer security zone, including tennis balls, coolers, and canned goods. But because of state law, as Will just mentioned, they're not able to ban firearms. Some are worried about political tensions boiling over into violence like what we just saw yesterday.
Having guns in the equation is only going to make this so much more of a risk for everyone in Milwaukee. We think that it's incredibly dangerous that guns would be allowed within the security perimeter at the RNC. We're, very much concerned that this could be a situation where the city sees a lot of unrest.
News 3 Now will be in Milwaukee all next week with extensive coverage of the Republican National Convention starting Monday morning. We'll have special guests, interviews, and more all on our News 3 Now newscast over the 4-day event. We will also have a special stream show each night at 8:30 with highlights of the day's activities, and that will be anchored from Milwaukee. More to come on News 3 Now at 10. Political reporter Will Keneally is back, and he brings us a reality check to rhetoric on political violence. Plus, learn some DIY tips to help protect your home during these warm summer months.
How to bring generations together. Start by splashing together, maybe go on a ride together, see stuff together, or do something different altogether. Spend the day together, spend the whole week together, call it a get-together. Put this thing, those things, and that thing together. Hey, this vacation is really coming together. You know what they say, a family that plays together. Well, you could put 2 and 2 together. Wisconsin Dells, come together. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your trip to the water park capital of the world today.
I'm coming to you live from Wisconsin, where the Wisconsin Lottery's newest scratch game is taking over. Let me tell you, this is big. Are you getting this? It's Winning Streak, a brand new $10 scratch game. Match any of your numbers to winning numbers or reveal 3 identical numbers in a row. You could win up to $100,000. So cool. Now available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
Old windows? Compromise your home's comfort. Vinyl windows, a 1970s relic, aren't built for extreme weather. They warp and crack, becoming vulnerable to the elements. At Next Door in Window, we have the answer. Fiberglass. Our Ultrex fiberglass windows last up to 50 years, longer than any other window you can buy. And while other companies cut corners and never call you back, we've got your back. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. Amazing offers and a great selection of Ford vehicles, like the Built Wild Bronco family, with a deal you just can't miss. Your biggest adventures are waiting. So make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. I want that. Make it a lease on a new Ford Bronco Sport for just $319 a month for 36 months. Only at your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Here's to sweet summer days together in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment. Here's to supper club celebrations. And to a lifetime of memories. Here's to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder. And dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin.
The Jennifer Hudson Show will level up your Oscar party.
Oh my goodness.
With Wolfgang Puck's Academy Award Classics.
Here we have all the little appetizers we serve.
Plus, rapper Offset is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
The violent attack against former President Donald Trump has renewed conversations about political violence in our country. Earlier today, political reporter Will Keneally gave us a reality check.
Heading into the Republican National Convention this week, we may see a lot of rhetoric on the political violence and where it's coming from. Now, for that reason, we're doing a reality check for you, using as an example an interview we did with Congressman Derek Van Orden.
I want to be very clear. The reason that this took place is because the amount of negative vitriol that the leftists and many people in the Democrat Party have been spewing about President Trump.
Now, we're still early yet into the investigation into the shooting, but as of right now, the FBI does not know the motive of the shooter. Now, Van Orden says that these Biden comments are what contributed to the vitriol.
Saying that MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump are an existential threat to the United States of America, that we're a threat to democracy.
These are true comments coming from President Biden. This is from September 2022.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Now again, though Biden did say this, we don't know if these comments or comments like them are the reason the Pennsylvania shooter attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump. Now the FBI does not have a motive yet.
Well, let's remember, political violence started in a big way when a Bernie Sanders supporter shot up the Republican congressional baseball team.
It's true that that event was a major political act of violence, but it's partially false to say that this is where it started. Notably, Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords survived an assassination attempt back in 2011.
But the vast majority, by orders of magnitude, of the political violence we have seen in the last more than a decade have come from the left.
Now, we could not find any evidence to support this claim here. The closest that we could find to this was a University of Chicago survey cited in The Guardian. Now, it shows that 10% of American adults favor violence against Trump compared to 6% of adults that favor violence on behalf of Trump. Now, by and large, studies show that political violence is committed more by right-wing actors. Now, this comes from data collected by the University of Maryland and the U.S. Department of Justice. I'm Will Keneally with this reality check.
Switching gears now, let's get a look at your first one forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex.
Jalen, southern Wisconsin, boy, oh boy, has it been an active evening. And we started talking about this first to warn you on our channel3000.com page, our Facebook page, where a pre-watch was expected to be issued for southern Wisconsin. We made that notification out there early, and then the watch was issued, and then those storms popped up over southwestern Wisconsin, as Future Track was suggesting, and they rolled across southern Wisconsin with heavy rainfall, severe thunderstorm warnings, wind damage reports. The good news is that line of thunderstorms has now rolled well off towards the south and towards the east, but not before producing strong winds of upwards of 70 miles per hour in the Janesville and Beloit area, where we're starting to get some damage reports in as well. But the main line of storms has pushed off now towards the south, towards the east. Also, the water still percolating through the water systems right now. Flash flood warning still in effect until 11 a.m. for the northeastern portion of Dane County, where we're getting tons of pictures in here at channel3000.com of the flooding rains of about 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of rain that fell over a very brief period of time. Future Track showing here less in the way of shower and storm activity by a significant margin as we go through the wee hours of the morning. So it should be quiet for the most part for the rest of the night. This line of storms has really zapped a lot of the energy from the atmosphere. But a muggy night tonight, and we will warm back up quickly, already approaching 80 degrees by late Monday morning. And we have another line of thunderstorms or two that will come through on Monday afternoon as alert day conditions continue. Temperatures have cooled down into the 70s across southern Wisconsin, even to 68 in Mineral Point. The dew points have come down as well. That's a measure of moisture in the 60s. That's a sign that the atmosphere has been taking away some of that energy, but it will rev back up again. Enhanced risk of severe weather, Platteville, Darlington, Monroe, Janesville to Beloit to Elkhorn on Monday afternoon. All of southern Wisconsin, a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This is an upward risk. We're expecting the potential for several lines of thunderstorms entering southwestern Wisconsin by 6 p.m., with the second line possibly coming through the area around 10 p.m. These lines of storms could promote a higher end damaging wind threat, a few embedded tornadoes, some hail and heavy rainfall. So be tuning in tomorrow morning with Savannah and Kelly at noon. Jacob, myself will be here tomorrow evening if and or when that severe weather moves into southern Wisconsin. Let's recap things here. 100-degree heat index potential again on Monday. More storms expected through Monday. The threats, wind, hail, and that possibility of that tornado or two on Monday. But the good news is after that, things calm down, temperatures cool on down. You can turn the AC off. Farmers who want to get their hay in, things will dry out a little bit, so silver lining. And I think, Jalen, we got some video and some pictures from this evening to show southern Wisconsin. If we can go back to that, actually, we have some video and some pictures that showcase what occurred in southern Wisconsin this evening. We're trying to get those videos and those photos out to, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to put those up there, but maybe we can do that at some other point during the newscast.
For sure. Another active night, but again, you talked about that silver lining. That'll help out our farmers, but just in general, a calmer time surely needed for everybody across.
Yes, we all deserve it. Southern Wisconsin, you got a calm period ahead.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Alex. And speaking of that active weather, climate change brings more frequent and destructive weather from coast to coast. That's led to a dramatic increase in many homeowners' insurance policies, but that price hike doesn't mean getting more coverage.
Climate change brings more frequent and destructive weather from coast to coast. That's led to a dramatic increase in many homeowners' insurance policies. But that price hike doesn't mean you're getting more coverage.
Homeowners insurance generally doesn't cover water coming from outside of your house, so it's not a bad idea to supplement your coverage with a flood policy.
Even without a flood, extreme heat can damage water in surprising ways. Specifically with your plumbing, take metal pipes. They can expand and contract, and over time, leak.
You want to inspect your plumbing routinely or have a plumber do it on a recurring basis. You can also install leak detectors, which will let you know immediately if there is a leak. They can be a little bit expensive to install, but save thousands in the long run.
Consumer Reports recommends this leak detector from Moen. Extreme heat can wreak havoc on your roofing, even when the weather is dry. It's essential to inspect it. Look for damaged shingles or tiles and replace them before they leak and cause more damage. The heat could overtax your air conditioning system. Regularly replacing the air filters and scheduling routine professional maintenance will help avoid pricey repairs later on. High heat and humidity can also create the ideal conditions for mold and mildew.
You want to keep the humidity inside your home between 30 and 50%. Anything higher and mold and dust mites can thrive.
Sear tests dozens of dehumidifiers and found that this Medea, for larger rooms, does a great job of removing water from the air, which helps maintain the ideal humidity in your home. This is David Fazekas.
And if you're concerned about power outages, a portable generator can help power essentials to your home. You'll want to store a generator in clean and dry and ventilated spots that you can access easily, but is not attached to the house. You want to have at least 10 gallons of fresh gasoline and hand in a safety container, adding fuel stabilizer to help last as long as possible. And coming up in sports, Willie Adames had a career day, but would it be enough to get the Crew back in the win column? That's coming up next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's 6 p.m. in Wisconsin, and you want to know what happened throughout the day. That's where News 3 Now at 6 comes in. Moving forward, while you're navigating your day, we're out in the community, uncovering the stories and finding the answers you're looking for. Local breaking news, in-depth reports, getting to the heart of events and issues that matter here. And when bad weather is on the way, we warn you first. Start your evening with News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward. Weeknights.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off. You'll also receive the Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping.
Get a great deal and do a great deal of good when you shop at Habitat Restore. From furniture and decor to appliances and building materials, we've got everything you need for your next project. Shop our convenient East and West locations today.
Grab your sunglasses and enjoy the journey of pure excitement. It's the Summer Vibes and Catch and Rides giveaways at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. This summer, you'll have a chance to win a StarCraft pontoon boat on July 27th, a Barletta pontoon boat on August 10th, and a Chevy Traverse on August 24th. All entries earned will be eligible for all Summer Vibes and Catch and Rides drawings. Your fun in the sun starts at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay on direct deposits. So when you get invited to your 3rd destination wedding in as many months, we'll be there with you.
When we first met Todd, we thought Jen was kidding.
You've got this with Associated Bank.
Hi, I'm Steve Bozeman from Steve's Auto Sales in Madison. I came up with a great sale for you guys, $29.99. I have 10 cars in that price range. Stop by today if you want the best deals in Madison. We have the warranties available. We also have financing for these $29.99 cars. Go to stevesAutoTruckSales.net. I'm located on Stoughton Road. Stop by and I'll give you the best deal in town. Steve's Auto Sales, the best deals in Madison. Search for Steve's on your phone right now.
Prior to this homestand, the Brewers hadn't lost a series at home since April, but Saturday's loss spelled 2 straight series losses at AmFam. They'd look to avoid getting swept by the Nationals today in their last game before the All-Star break, and this one was the Willie Adames show. Scoreless game in the bottom of the first, and he rips one to deep right. The ground rule double would bring in Christian Yelich to put the Brewers on the board. And then in the fourth, 2 on for Adames, and he does it again. This time it's a 1 RBI single, but it still scores a run, and by this point the Brewers were up big, 7-2, but Big Willie wasn't done. The bottom of the 8th, and he puts the finishing touches on a masterpiece, a no-doubt home run. The Brewers head into the break with a 9-3 win and a 4.5 game lead in the Central on the back of a 4-hit, 4 RBI day for Willie Adames, and his teammates made sure he won't forget it.
For the former second.
And one of the best closers in baseball is one step closer to returning to the big leagues. Devin Williams, who injured his back in spring training and has missed the entire season to this point, made his first rehab start today up at Appleton and looked to be in midseason form, striking out the side. The MLB draft kicked off tonight. The Cleveland Guardians had the first overall pick, and they took Travis Bazzana, the first #1 overall pick, to be an Australian native. And then 7th overall, the Cardinals took J.J. Weatherholt, a former Madison Mallard. It's the highest draft pick of a former Mallard ever. The Brewers got into the mix at 17, taking Braylon Payne, a 17-year-old outfielder who was the fastest player in this year's draft. And then at 34, the Crew took Blake Burke, a first baseman who hit 20 home runs with the national champion Tennessee Volunteers. Either Steve Stricker or Jerry Kelly has won each of the past 4 Colleague Companies championships. Stricker entered the final round of the senior major today with the lead, while Kelly was just a few shots back. Strick was in good shape to start, but here he is on 9, and this was a sign of bad things to come. He misses the par putt and would have to settle for a bogey. On 14, he would end up triple bogeying and finishing his round at 3 over on the day. He'd fall all the way back to a 4th place finish in the tournament. And Jerry Kelly would go on to capitalize on that. Here he is on 11, looking for a birdie putt, and he gets it to drop. He was locked in today. Kelly would shoot 1 under and 7 under for the tournament, moving all the way up to a 3rd place finish. Out to Lake Tahoe for the final round of the American Century Championship, which is the premier celebrity golf tournament. And Joe Pavelski was right in the mix. He entered the final round in 2nd place. Here he is on 15, dialed all the way in, sinks a long birdie putt. But despite an excellent weekend, Marty Fish would go on to win it. Pavelski finished 2nd. Not bad for a hockey player. And we finish here over at Warner Park, the Duck Pond or the Duck Lake. The Madison Nightmares were supposed to play tonight, but here's a look at their parking lot at just how much rain they got. That is unbelievable. The Warner Park parking lot, you don't see it like that too often. At least knee-high water. Kind of a scary sight, but just gives you a good indication of just how much rain fell in some portions of our area. Pretty jarring stuff right there.
For sure. I mean, you can't even like run in it. You see them like trying to trudge through the water. Again, what a very busy, hectic night on all fronts of news for us. Obviously, that impacting sports, weather, and then obviously everything that's going on last 24 hours plus or so on the news side of things.
Certainly. We made it through the weekend, almost at least.
All right. Well, sounds good. Thank you, Andrew. A final check of your first one forecast when we return.
Hi, I'm Joe Lanus, Chief Executive Officer for the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra. For the 2nd year in a row, we're excited to bring Building the Community Beat, a video series developed to unite brands who have a shared passion and mission for bringing the community together through music. The Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's mission of strengthening communities for all people of all ages and abilities is central to everything we do, and it comes out each and every week during Concerts on the Square, where we have up to 40 or 50,000 people experiencing free live music.
Quartz is always looking for new opportunities to reach the communities that we serve. We do this by sponsoring events and partnering with organizations that are in alignment with our efforts to improve health outcomes and advance health equity.
Choosing your healthcare provider is personal. That's why we work to deliver health insurance offerings that support you and your provider in your healthcare journey. Our purpose at Quartz is to ignite the power to create a life well lived. One of the ways that we do that is working with Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra so that we can participate with you in the joy of building community together.
What many people might not know is that I graduated with a flute performance minor and played in the chamber orchestra in the city I lived for many, many years. So when I moved to Madison and had an opportunity to take my family to concerts on the square, I loved it. It was a wonderful opportunity to share that part of my personal passion with the community and with my family in particular. My personal passion for Concerts on the Square is really special because Quartz shares that passion. It's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to remain connected, and we look forward to many more years of partnership and community connection.
Concerts on the Square has been part of the Madison cultural landscape for the past 40 years. Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra is so excited to bring it forward with partnerships like Quartz that ensure that it continues to happen.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With 35 years experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest, no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. Chris Stanford, News 3 Now This Morning. Moving forward.
All right, southern Wisconsin expecting just isolated thunderstorms the rest of the overnight as the bulk of the storms push off towards the south, towards the east. Just can't rule out an isolated shower storm with the leftover humidity that we have across southern Wisconsin. But widespread severe weather not expected the rest of the night. However, tomorrow we're expecting more widespread severe weather in the afternoon and in the evening. Have some wonderful photos to show southern Wisconsin. This is a supercell thunderstorm. You can actually literally see the rotation there and that lowering in the center. This is our Platteville Queen Bee radio sky cam during our 5 o'clock show. Broke in at the end of the show saying we have rotation in this storm. Look at that. That's a wall cloud with what we call scud near the bottom of that wall cloud. You can scan that QR code to send us those weather photos with one more photo there of that wall cloud and supercell thunderstorm. And at the end of a storm, there's a saying, there's a golden sky. Look at these beautiful pictures.